The United Earth Space Command received the transmission at 0347 hours, ship time. Deep in the void between star systems, the exploration vessel New Horizon detected a weak, desperate signal bleeding through subspace frequencies. Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge, studying the translated message that flickered across the main display. The universal translator had worked overtime to decode the alien language, but the meaning was crystal clear. Someone was dying out there. Captain, the signal originates from the Kepler 442 system, reported Lieutenant Amy Torres from her station. That's uncharted territory, sir. No human has ever been there. The message repeated in broken fragments. Help us. Ships failing. Oxygen running low. Please respond. Anyone. Morrison rubbed his jaw thoughtfully. The New Horizon was a research vessel, not a warship. They carried a crew of 63 scientists, engineers, and support staff. Their mission was peaceful exploration, not rescue operations in hostile territory. Sir, Torres continued, I'm detecting multiple life signs in that system. The energy signatures suggest at least 4 different species aboard various vessels. Dr. Lisa Park, the ship's xenobiologist, stepped forward. Captain, this could be our first contact with multiple alien civilizations. The scientific value alone is secondary to saving lives, Morrison interrupted firmly. How long to reach their position? Navigator Tom Reed checked his calculations. At maximum burn, 18 hours, sir. Morrison nodded. Set course for Kepler 442. All departments prepare for emergency rescue operations. As the New Horizon changed direction and accelerated toward the distressed aliens, none of the crew realized they were about to demonstrate why humans had earned their reputation as the galaxy's most stubborn survivors. The journey passed quickly. Dr. Park and her team worked frantically to analyze the alien transmissions, learning what they could about the species sending the distress call. The messages spoke of system-wide equipment failures depleting life support and something called void madness affecting their crews. Captain, Torres announced as they dropped out of faster-than-light travel, we're entering the Kepler 442 system now. The view screen revealed a sight that made the entire bridge crew pause. 7 alien vessels of wildly different designs hung motionless in space, their hull lights flickering weakly. Some ships appeared crystalline, others were sleek metal constructs, and one looked like it had been grown rather than built. My God, whispered Dr. Park. 7 different species, all stranded together. Morrison opened a channel. This is Captain Jake Morrison of the United Earth vessel New Horizon. We received your distress call, please respond. The reply came immediately, filled with static and desperation. Human vessel, thank the void spirits, we are dying. Our ships, they cannot function in this system's radiation field. Torres ran quick scans. Captain, there's intense electromagnetic radiation throughout this system. It's interfering with their technology, but our systems seem unaffected. Chief Engineer Mike Chen joined them on the bridge. That makes sense, sir. Our ships are built to handle Earth's magnetic field and solar radiation. We're used to operating in harsh conditions. The alien voice continued. We have been trapped here for 6 solar cycles. Many have already perished. Please, if you can help. Morrison looked around his bridge. Every face showed the same determination he felt. We'll help, he said, simply. Stand by for rescue operations. As the crew began preparing their response, they had no idea that this moment would mark humanity's dramatic entrance onto the galactic stage. The other species had sent their distress call, expecting to die in the radiation-soaked system. None of them had imagined that somewhere in the galaxy existed a species crazy enough to thrive in conditions that killed everyone else. The aliens called their planets paradise worlds, places with gentle weather, stable radiation, and predictable environments. Earth, by their standards, was a nightmare of violent storms, deadly radiation, crushing gravity, and toxic atmosphere. But to the crew of the New Horizon, this rescue operation was just another day's work. They came from a world that had tried to kill them every single day of their existence. saving a few ships from some electromagnetic radiation. That was practically a vacation. Morrison smiled grimly as his crew sprang into action. The aliens were about to learn why humans called themselves Death Worlders, and why that made them the best neighbors anyone could ask for in a crisis. "All hands," he announced over the ship's communication system. "Prepare for rescue operations. We've got some new friends to save." The New Horizon approached the first alien vessel, a beautiful crystalline ship that sparkled like a diamond, even in the dim starlight. Its distress beacon pulsed weakly, barely maintaining power. "Tom, bring us alongside," Captain Morrison ordered. "Amy, open a channel to that crystal ship." The response came through layers of static. "Human vessel. I am Commander Blue of the Star-Touched Fleet. Our power cores are failing. The radiation here burns through our shields like acid." Dr. Park studied the readings. "Captain, their ship is beautiful, but it's designed for completely stable environments. This electromagnetic storm would be like asking a butterfly to fly through a hurricane." Chief Engineer Mike Chen was already suiting up. "Sir, I can take a team over and see what we can do about their power systems." "Negative," Morrison replied. "That radiation would cook you in minutes without proper shielding." Chen grinned. "Sir, have you seen the radiation levels we work with in Earth's Van Allen belts? This is actually pretty mild compared to a solar storm back home." Morrison paused. Chen was right. What seemed impossible to the aliens was just another engineering challenge to humans. "Take Roberts and Kim with you. Full EVA suits, extra shielding." As Chen's team prepared for their spacewalk, the alien voices grew more desperate. Commander Blue transmitted again. "Humans, you cannot survive in this radiation. It will kill you, as it has killed us." "We'll be fine," Morrison assured him. "We're from a world where this kind of radiation is normal." Silence stretched across the communication channel. Finally, Blue responded, That is impossible. No life can evolve in such conditions." Dr. Park laughed softly. "Commander Blue, you're about to learn something about humans. We don't just survive impossible conditions, we thrive in them." Chen and his team crossed the void between ships, their movements confident despite the electromagnetic chaos around them. The crystalline aliens watched in amazement as the humans approached their ship without any apparent distress. "Beginning external examination," Chen reported. "Their power coupling is completely fried. The radiation literally melted their primary conduits." "Can you fix it?" Morrison asked. "Not with their technology, but I can jury-rig something with our spare parts. Their ship is like a sports car. Beautiful, fast, but breaks down if you look at it wrong. We just need to give it some truck engine reliability." While Chen worked on the crystal ship, other teams spread out to help the remaining vessels. Each alien species presented unique challenges that would have stumped their own engineers, but seemed almost routine to the human crew. The second ship belonged to the Tall Ones, a species of graceful beings who stood nearly 3 meters high. Their vessel was sleek and elegant, but its life support systems couldn't handle the radiation's interference. Engineer Lisa Roberts took one look at their setup and shook her head. "This is way too complex. They've got 17 different backup systems, but they're all connected. When one fails, they all fail." She began installing simple, redundant human systems. Sometimes the best solution is the simplest one. The third vessel housed the Rock People, beings who looked like living stone but whose ship was surprisingly delicate. The electromagnetic pulses had scrambled their navigation computers beyond repair. Navigator Tom Reed brought over a basic human compass and some paper charts. "Here," he told their confused captain. "When all the fancy stuff breaks, you navigate by the stars." Ship after ship received human assistance. Each time the aliens expressed disbelief that the humans could work so easily in conditions that had trapped them for months. The breakthrough came when Dr. Park made contact with the seventh ship, crewed by the soft speakers, a species that communicated through subtle emotional telepathy. "Your minds," the soft speaker captain whispered in wonder. "They burn so bright, so fierce. How do you live with such intensity?" Dr. Park realized something profound. We don't just survive harsh physical conditions. Our minds are built for stress, for problem-solving under pressure. What drives you to despair makes us more creative. As the rescue operation continued through the ship's night cycle, word spread among the alien crews. The humans weren't just immune to the radiation, they seemed energized by the challenge. Where the aliens saw impossible problems, humans saw interesting puzzles. Commander Blue transmitted a message to all ships. These humans, they are not like us. They come from a world that would kill us in moments, yet they call it home. They face death and laugh. They solve problems we cannot even understand. Captain Morrison smiled as he watched his crew work. Each person moved, with purpose, turning the aliens' disasters into routine maintenance tasks. This wasn't heroism to them. This was just Tuesday. All ships, he broadcast, prepare for towing operations. We're getting everyone out of here. The aliens were about to learn that humans didn't just answer distress calls, they made the impossible look easy. Captain Morrison stood on the bridge watching his crew perform miracles. In less than 12 hours, they had restored basic life support to 6 of the 7 stranded vessels. The 7th ship, belonging to a species called the Deep Dwellers, presented their biggest challenge. Yet, Captain, reported Chief Engineer Chen over the comm, this last ship is in bad shape. Their crew is barely alive, and their hull is cracking from the radiation stress. The Deep Dweller vessel looked like a giant sea creature, all curves and flowing lines. It was beautiful, but clearly never meant to handle the harsh reality of space radiation. How many survivors? Morrison asked. 43, sir, but they're fading fast. Their species needs a very specific atmospheric mix, and their life support is completely dead. Dr. Park joined Morrison on the bridge, her face grim. Captain, I've been studying their biology. The Deep Dwellers evolved in underwater cities on their homeworld. This radiation isn't just killing their ship, it's poisoning them directly. Morrison nodded grimly. Options? We could try to transfer them to our ship, but our atmosphere might be toxic to them. Or we could attempt to repair their life support, but that could take days they don't have. Engineer Roberts spoke up from her station. Sir, what if we don't fix their ship? What if we just carry it? Everyone turned to look at her. Explain. The New Horizon has those new industrial tractor beams for asteroid mining. We could grab their whole ship and carry it out of the radiation field. Once we're clear, we can take our time with proper repairs. Chen's voice crackled over the comm. That's crazy enough to work. But sir, we've never tried to tow something that big while jumping to faster-than-light speed. Morrison smiled. This was exactly the kind of impossible solution that humans were famous for. The kind that made perfect sense once someone thought of it. Do it, he ordered. All ships, prepare for emergency evacuation of the radiation zone. The next few hours were controlled chaos. The human crew worked with mechanical precision, attaching tractor beams and emergency power cables to all 7 alien vessels. The aliens watched in stunned silence as their rescuers prepared to do something that violated several laws of physics. Commander Blue transmitted from his crystal ship. Humans, this plan is madness. No vessel can carry 7 others through faster-than-light travel. Maybe not, Morrison replied, but we've never been very good at accepting limitations. Navigator Reed ran final calculations. Sir, the math is ugly, but it should work. We'll need to burn our emergency reserves, and we'll be flying blind for most of the jump. How confident are you? Morrison asked. Reed grinned. About 60%, sir. Good enough. All departments, secure for emergency jump. The aliens couldn't believe what they were hearing. Their own species would never attempt such a risky maneuver. They planned everything carefully, with multiple redundancies and safety protocols. The humans seemed to make it up as they went along. What the aliens didn't understand was that improvisation was humanity's greatest strength. On Earth, survival meant adapting quickly to changing conditions. Humans had learned to trust their instincts and make decisions with incomplete information. Jump in 30 seconds, Reed announced. The Deep Dweller captain, barely conscious, whispered through their translator. If we die, know that we are grateful. No one has ever tried to save us before. Nobody's dying today, Morrison said, firmly. That's a promise. The New Horizon engaged its faster-than-light drive while towing 7 alien vessels, each one different in design and mass. The ship groaned under the strain. Emergency alarms sounded, and several systems overloaded. Immediately, but the human crew didn't panic. They had trained for emergencies their entire careers. While the aliens prayed to their various gods, the humans simply did their jobs. Jump successful, Reed shouted over the noise. We're clear of the radiation field. Cheers erupted from all, 7 alien ships simultaneously. The deep dwellers were already breathing easier, as their hulls stopped absorbing deadly radiation. The crystal beings watched their power levels stabilize for the first time in months. Dr. Park opened a channel to all ships. This is the New Horizon. You're all safe now. We'll escort you to the nearest inhabited system for proper repairs. Commander Blue's voice was filled with wonder. Humans. What you have done, it should be impossible. Morrison looked around his bridge at his tired but proud crew. Commander, we're from a planet that tries to kill us every day. After dealing with hurricanes, earthquakes, solar radiation, and toxic storms, rescuing a few ships from some electromagnetic interference is just another day at the office. The galaxy was about to learn that humans didn't see problems. They saw solutions waiting to be discovered. The New Horizon and its convoy of 7 rescued vessels arrived at Haven Station, a massive trading hub orbiting a peaceful blue star. As they approached, Captain Morrison realized they were about to make history. Humanity's first official contact with galactic civilization. Captain, Lieutenant Torres reported, we're receiving dozens of communication requests. Word is spreading, fast about what we did. The main view screen showed Haven Station growing larger as they approached. It was unlike anything humans had ever built, a graceful spiral of interconnected rings, each one rotating slowly in the starlight. Ships of every imaginable design docked at its ports. Dr. Park studied the readings with excitement. Jake, there are representatives from over 30 different species on that station. This is incredible. Commander Blue's voice came through the comm system. Captain Morrison, I have requested permission for your ship to dock at the primary port. The station council wishes to meet with you immediately. Morrison frowned. What's the station council? The governing body of this region of space. They maintain peace and facilitate trade between species. Captain, what you did in the radiation field, it has never been accomplished before. They want to understand how. As the New Horizon docked at Haven Station, crowds of aliens gathered at the observation decks to catch a glimpse of the mysterious humans. The rescue had been broadcast across subspace channels, and the entire galaxy was buzzing with speculation. Morrison selected a small diplomatic team, Dr. Park for her xenobiology expertise, Chief Engineer Chen to explain their technical capabilities, and Lieutenant Torres for communications. They would meet with the council while the rest of the crew supervised repairs to the rescued ships. The airlock opened to reveal a delegation of aliens unlike anything from Earth's imagination. Commander Blue stood waiting, his crystalline form refracting the station's lights into rainbow patterns. Beside him waited a tall one, whose graceful movements seemed to flow like water, and a rock person whose stone-like features showed surprising warmth. Welcome to Haven Station, Blue said formally. I am honored to escort you to the council chamber. As they walked through the station's corridors, Morrison marveled at the diversity around them. Beings of gas floated in specialized suits, while others skittered on multiple legs or glided on energy fields. All of them stopped to stare at the human delegation. Commander, Dr. Park asked quietly, why is everyone staring? Blue's crystalline features somehow managed to convey amusement. Dr. Park, you must understand, your species has become legendary in the past few hours. No one in recorded galactic history has ever attempted a rescue like yours, much less succeeded. They entered the council chamber, a vast spherical room where representatives from dozens of species sat in environmental pods suited to their needs. At the center, a holographic display showed the radiation field where the rescue had taken place. The council speaker, a being of pure energy contained in a shimmering field, addressed them directly. Humans of Earth, we welcome you to Galactic Society. Your actions have raised many questions about your species and your world. Morrison stepped forward. We're honored to be here, Council Speaker. We simply responded to a distress call. Any species would have done the same. A ripple of what might have been laughter passed through the assembled aliens. The Council Speaker's energy field pulsed brighter. Captain Morrison, that is where you are wrong. In the past 1,000 years, 47 different rescue attempts have been made in radiation fields of similar intensity. All 47 failed, with total loss of life. Chen spoke up. With respect, Council Speaker, maybe they were using the wrong approach. Sometimes you have to get creative. The Rock Person representative, Captain Stoneheart, leaned forward. Human Chen, our greatest engineers analyzed that radiation field for cycles. They declared rescue impossible. Yet you fixed 7 different ship types in less than 1 rotation period. How? Dr. Park smiled. Captain Stoneheart, I think the difference is in our background. Most species in the galaxy evolved on what we would call paradise worlds, stable, predictable environments. Earth is different. The holographic display changed to show images of Earth, hurricane systems, volcanic eruptions, solar storms, and tectonic activity. The assembled aliens watched in stunned silence. This is your home world, whispered a soft speaker representative. Home, sweet home, Torres replied cheerfully. Though we did have to wear radiation suits for this diplomatic meeting. Your station's atmosphere is a bit too clean for us. The Council Speaker's field dimmed in what might have been shock. You require radiation to survive? Morrison laughed. Not exactly, but our bodies and our technology are built to handle extreme conditions. What you call impossible, we call Tuesday. The Deep Dweller captain, now recovered enough to attend via hologram, spoke for the first time. Council Speaker, these humans, they do not fear death. They face it and make it serve them. A long silence fell over the chamber as the implications sank in. The galaxy had found its rescuers, a species too stubborn to accept that anything was impossible. 3 months after the rescue at Kepler 442, Captain Morrison found himself back at Haven Station, but this time the New Horizon wasn't alone. A small fleet of human vessels had arrived, each one carrying volunteers eager to help with the galaxy's impossible problems. The council chamber was packed beyond capacity. Representatives from over 100 species had gathered to witness what many were calling the most important diplomatic meeting in galactic history. Captain Morrison, the council speaker began, since your arrival, the term Death Worlder has spread throughout known space. Your species has single-handedly changed how we approach crisis response. Morrison looked around the chamber at faces that had become familiar over the past months. Commander Blue's crystalline form sparkled with what the humans had learned was excitement. Captain Stoneheart's rocky features showed the closest thing his species had to a smile. Council Speaker, we've just been helping where we can. Any neighbor would do the same. The Deep Dweller representative, Captain Flo with Tide, activated his translation matrix. Human Morrison, in the 3 months since your rescue, 43, previously impossible situations have been resolved by human intervention. You have saved over 10,000 lives. Dr. Park stepped forward with a data pad. Council Speaker, we've been keeping records. The pattern is clear. What other species consider impossible, humans consider challenging. It's not that we're superior, we just have different perspectives. A new voice spoke from the chamber's upper levels. It belonged to Admiral Starbright, of the Voidwalkers, one of the galaxy's most ancient species. Dr. Park, with respect, it is more than perspective. We have studied your homeworld's data. Earth's environment would kill most galactic species within hours. The holographic display, activated, showing comparative data, Earth's radiation levels, atmospheric pressure, gravity, and weather patterns appeared alongside average readings from other inhabited worlds. Your planet, Admiral Starbright continued, experiences radiation levels that exceed our emergency protocols. Your gravity would crush most of our species. Your weather systems generate more energy than our weapons. Yet you call this home. Chief Engineer Chen grinned. Admiral, You should see Earth during a really bad day. Solar storms, earthquakes, hurricanes all at once. We call that Tuesday in hurricane season. Nervous laughter rippled through the chamber, but the Admiral wasn't finished. This is precisely why your species has become so valuable to Galactic's civilization. You solve problems we cannot even comprehend. The Council speaker's energy field pulsed thoughtfully. The proposal before us today is unprecedented. Never before has a single species been offered membership in the Galactic Rescue Corps. Morrison frowned. Galactic Rescue Corps? Commander Blue stood to explain. Captain, for the past month, the NAI Council has been debating the formation of a new organization. Traditionally, when ships are lost in dangerous regions, we mourn them and mark those areas as forbidden. You have shown us another way. Captain Stoneheart activated his speaking platform. Human Morrison, your species does not accept limitations. Where we see certain death, you see engineering challenges. The Council proposes to establish rescue stations throughout dangerous regions, staffed primarily by humans. The implications hit Morrison immediately. They weren't just asking humans to join galactic society, they were asking them to become the galaxy's emergency responders. Dr. Park's voice was filled with wonder. You want us to be the ones who go where others can't? More than that, Admiral Starbright replied. We want to learn from you. Our species have grown comfortable, perhaps too comfortable. We avoid danger, plan everything carefully, and accept that some situations are hopeless. Humans do not. Lieutenant Torres spoke up. Admiral, what makes you think we can teach other species to think like humans? The Admiral's ancient features showed something like amusement. Lieutenant Torres, we do not expect other species to become Deathworlders, but we can learn to be braver, more creative, more willing to attempt the impossible. The Council speaker addressed the chamber. The vote is unanimous. Humanity is hereby invited to join the Galactic Council with full membership and special status as primary emergency response species. Cheers erupted from dozens of species simultaneously, creating a cacophony of sounds that somehow conveyed universal joy. Morrison felt the weight of history settling on his shoulders. Council speaker, on behalf of humanity, we accept. But understand, we're not heroes. We're just too stubborn to give up when others need help. Commander Blue's crystalline laughter filled the chamber. Captain Morrison, that stubbornness is exactly why the galaxy needs Deathworlders. As the ceremony concluded and celebrations began, Morrison looked out at the stars through the chamber's great windows. Somewhere out there, someone was probably sending a distress call right now. And thanks to humanity's reputation, they would know that help was coming. The galaxy had learned that impossible was just another word for send the humans. The end.